When you first thought about an orchestra as an elective, you must have thought about an instrument you wanted to play. If that choice was the viola, then that was the right choice. If you chose the violin, cello, or bass, you were wrong, and you should be punished, but I cannot do that to you. What I can try to tell you is why the viola is the superior instrument, and try to convince you that your instrument is bad and you should switch. First, if you pick the violin or even considered it, you are probably an egotistical person that thinks that they are better than everyone else and deserves to be spotlighted all the time. Well, you are wrong. The violin is just a small piece of wood that needs to be destroyed. I'm only kidding about the destroying part, but violins are actually inferior to the viola, and in fact, the viola should be spotlighted in the orchestra all the time. The lesson here is to never play the violin or even touch one, because you'll be scarred for life. Why are violinists' fingers like lightning? They never touch the same spot twice. Then there is the cello, the violins of the bottom end of the orchestra. In past years, the cello has just become as popular as the violin. That's just what we need, more egotistical people, but this time they have a bigger instrument and an end pin that's good for stabbing people. The cellos and violins are the composer's favorites. They always give them the melodies while they give the violas crap. Even if they give us the melody, we are always with the cellos, so it is not really a bright and shiny moment. I mean, all the cello really is a big viola with an end pin, so really they all want to be violas, so all cellos should be really called bass violas. Why is the cello, what is the difference between a cello and a viola? Cello burns longer. Then last but not least, there are the bass players. These people belong in a different category of their own. What I mean by that is they get crappy parts that are just as much as a viola, so I cannot really bash them on getting the melody all the time. Now what I can tell you is why you should never, ever play the bass. The reason why is because why on God's earth would you ever want to carry that huge instrument around? I mean, come on, it's way too big. If you want to play the boring part so bad, just choose the viola, because it is not as big, and the viola section has some of the most stimulating conversations in the entire orchestra. I mean, we figure out where we're going to lunch. Very important. Plus, on a side note, bass sections share one brain, and usually the person who's in charge of it that day forgot it. What's the difference between a vacuum and a bass player? You have to plug in the vacuum to suck. I hope I have given you solid facts and reasons why you should never play the other wretched instruments and most definitely pick the viola. If not, I feel very sorry for you, because if you play violin, no one will like you. And if you play cello, no one will like you, and you'll end up stabbing somebody that doesn't like you because you most likely believe you are better than them. Then if you chose the bass, you will end up with some form of back problem that will haunt you for the rest of your life. Even though the viola is one instrument in the entire orchestra that the conductor loves to pick on the most, the viola is actually very important to some people's beliefs. So in conclusion, the viola is the greatest instrument of all. And if you play it long enough, you will get a viola hickey and everyone will think you're a player.